Hi, good evening and welcome to our channel. So this is going to be a quick video where we're going to show you how you're going to use your SLP to do some very basic breeding. As I mentioned in my last video, there's multiple ways to make money on Axie Infinity. It's not just by farming SLP. You could also do breeding, and you can also buy and sell Axies, and you can buy land. There are many possibilities when you can certainly earn a whole lot of money through Axie Infinity. So I'm just going to show you the very basics of how you can go about doing your own breeding of your Axies that you have. As I've covered in my last video, as I said, the main whole idea of the videos I'm making is to encourage you all to earn for yourselves and basically graduate from your scholarships. By graduate, I mean buying your own teams, buying your own Axies, and thereby earning more money. So as I've covered in the last video, I showed you how I was able to claim that big amount of 5,500 SLP. And apart from that, I also have mentioned about guides. I've shown you the guides when you can maximize your earnings and how you can go about gaining more energies by buying your own Axies slowly. And I've given you a plan as well in the previous video, so go ahead and check out that video. It's going to be a really helpful guide as to how you can proceed to earn more money in Axie Infinity. So based on that same concept, I'm going to basically show you just the bare basics of how you can go about breeding your own Axie. So obviously you need at least 2 Axies to breed, and I'm not going to go into the details of the statistics that are involved in breeding and the purity of the breeds and all of that. I'm just going to show you the bare basics as how you can take the SLP that you've earned and use the DEX of Axie Infinity, that's a decentralized exchange, to basically swap your SLP to the AXS that is required. And the current breeding scenario, we just require one AXS, so we're going to take advantage of the fact that AXS is a bit low today and it's just 6,500. So previously it had reached even up to 8,000. So I'm not going to go into too much of detail as to what type of breeds that you require and what are the type of the genes that are required and the purity. That's something you will find in this official guide of Axie Infinity, the breeding guide. So I'm going to drop these links into the description of my video, and go ahead and check out all of these links. So I'm also going to be showing you a couple of tools that I'll be using for the breed to make if in case you're serious about breeding and starting your own breeding farm. I'm going to drop these links into the description, and I'm going to take you to each one of these, and we'll quickly cover as to how we can go about a basic breeding plan. And now there are tons of videos out there that is going to go into details about the genes and about the purity and about the statistics, but I'm just going to cover the basics to show you how you can take the SLP that you earn. So say you're a scholar and you want to do something on your own, and you end up buying your own Axies, like how I've shown you in the plan in the previous video. Now you go about taking it one step further by doing a breed. So obviously your cost is going to be less than buying an actual Axie from the marketplace, and I'm going to show you how to do that with the SLP that you have by converting the SLP with the KATANA DEX that is freely available right now, and take advantage of this to do this. And as you know, previously it had to be done on Uniswap and all these other exchanges, and it costs a whole lot more money than what you can do today, and I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. Before that, I'll just take you just to the basics, the bare basics of breeding and Axie, and I'll just go through this guide of Axie Infinity itself, so you can basically have an idea as to what is going to be the possibilities of breeding in future as well, if in case you want to take this really seriously and start your own breeding farm maybe. So any Axie can be bred a max of just 7 times. So you're going to see that on your Axie. I'll just show it to you. Okay, as you can see here, the first stats that you have, the 0, that's going to tell you how many times the Axie has been bred already. So if you see a number 6 or 7, that's the max that the Axie is going to be able to have been bred with one another. And you cannot breed Axies that are from the same parent axes, so you cannot breed two child axes together. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Other than that, if in case an axis has already been bred 7 times, and that's going to be done basically only by the top breeders, because it's really expensive, as you're going to see in a second, as to how much more can you breed. And it's going to be kind of difficult for a normal person to go through 7 breeds. So that's something you got to keep in mind, that you're not going to be able to do that if in case you're not a big breeder. So the big breeders normally they will go even up to 7 breeds, and that's totally fine, because they have already generated a whole lot of axes through their breeding farms, and they find it much easier to breed. And they have the resources right now because of rolling their money and rolling their assets that they have, the SLP and AXIES and the wheat, by reselling and all of that, and they are able to do that. So as for many of the normal people, the max that they will go about breeding is maybe 2 or 3 breeds, at the most 4 breeds. But there are guys who will go even higher on the breeds, depending on how much money you have in your resources. So the current breeding cost is just 1 AXS. So this is an old blog that is there, but that was what it was before, and it's come down to that as well. And the only thing that has increased is the cost of the SLP. Currently, to breed one axis, you require it's about 300 SLP per axis. So as you can see, this is the old cost that they have mentioned, and you can see on this chart itself, as the breed count goes higher, the amount of SLP required increases. So in the current scenario, this 150, you got to basically end up doubling all of this. This 150 per axis becomes 300 in the current scenario. So I'll just show it to you in one of the axes that are currently on a 0 breed, and the first breed itself is going to cost you, it's going to cost you about 300 to breed. As you can see, it's mentioned there if you click on that little eye. So 0 and 7 is basically showing you that it has never been bred before, and that's something that you many of the breeders go for, because that keeps the cost of your breeding down. All right, so coming back to what else is going to be required during the breeding process, here in this particular blog, they have mentioned about the different type of axes and the different classes, and also they have shown you as to what the genes percentage of stats for the genes are. So you have something called as a dominant gene, that is the main genes that you see in the first part of the axis stats here, and then you have a recessive genes. Those are genes that are not seen on a normal axis. The reason why we can see these stats right now is because there's this cool extension called Free Kitties extension. As I said, there are many tools which I will be putting into the description, and you're going to be able to see stats that a normal person will not be able to see on the marketplace. And this is mainly important if in case you're doing breeding, and that's how most of the breeders, I mean all of the breeders who are serious breeders, are using this extension to see what's basically the back end stats as well. Because when you do a breed between two axes, the probability of the stats or the genes from the R1 and the R2, that is the back end genes, coming into front is very high, and the probabilities that they show you is the dominant genes, that's the first genes, has a 37.5% chance to pass on to the offspring. Likewise, the R1 genes, the dominant genes, the recessive genes which are in the back end, have a 9.375% chance of coming in front on the offspring. And similarly, the last one, the R2, has a 3.125% chance. As I said, these are a whole lot of numbers. If you're serious about breeding and starting your own farm, you need to take these numbers seriously. Alright, and then they also have the calculation of the classes. So depending on the genes, each baby has 50% chance of inheriting parent class. So as I said, there's a whole lot of things that you need to keep in mind. It's not just you take two axes from the marketplace and you breed them together. You need to be sure as to what abilities that you're looking for, what type of class of axis that you want to breed, and also you need to keep in track as to what genes are in the back end, as shown, which you will be able to see if you use the extension which I'm going to leave in the description. Alright, so coming back to what I want to achieve from my current breed, as I said, this is just a sample which I want to show you. I am not going to just do a random breed. I'm looking for something which has genes which I feel in the current scenario in the marketplace has a good chance of I'll be able to resell those genes. I'll be able to resell those offspring. I hopefully recover my breeding fee as well as make a little more money, and that's how we are going to basically have another source of earning apart from just farming SLP. Alright, so as you can see, I have a couple of zero breeds in my inventory which I have gathered over a period of time, and as I said in my previous video, I've shown you how you can do this as well. So it is pretty much achievable for anyone to achieve something like this, provided they follow the rules which I mentioned in the previous video. So go ahead and don't forget to check that out as well. So now let's just get into the fact as to how we are going to swap SLP first, because that's the first process. So you require SLP. At the same time, as I mentioned, I showed you in the chart above, you require this one says 150, but as I just showed you, you require 300 SLP per axis. So what we're looking at is, if you're breeding 2 axes, you're going to need 600 SLP. Alright, so the first thing we will do is we will convert our SLP to AXS. So I already have SLP in my wallet, but I need to have AXS because that's what's required as a breeding fee. That's 1 AXS. So as you can see, I have some 3600 SLP here, and I also have some other SLP which is stuck on the blockchain basically because I don't have enough of gas fees to remove this out. But we're going to use what is in our wallet currently. We have about 3368, so we're not going to use all of this. Obviously I need to convert the AXS to convert to AXS, and based on the current market price, what I can see is that I will only be able to do 1 breed. Okay, so the process that we are going to follow is pretty simple. We are going to go to KATANA, the Ronin DEX chain. That's the Ronin chain. This DEX is the decentralized exchange which is been made by Axie Infinity for us to save on those gas fees that we normally see when we are using the Ethereum network. Alright, currently they don't have any fees for the RON that is being used, the gas fees, but as you know, in the coming future they are certainly going to be charging us for every transaction that we do on the Ronin sidechain, and they're going to be using RON as a token. How to farm RON, there's a whole lot of videos out there as well. You can go ahead and check those out. There are a lot of good resources available, but I'm just going to cover the basics of breeding right now. So I need to convert my SLP into 1 AXS. At the end, towards the end of this video, I'm also going to show you, I already purchased an Axie the same way using the very same video. So unfortunately, at the time of making this video, I've already resold that Axie onto the market. I resold it back onto the market, but I'm going to show you, I have screenshots as to how I went about buying it. So pay attention right now how I swap my SLP, because that is exactly the same process I use to convert my SLP to wheat, that is the wrapped ether which is required. This is the first one, that is wrapped ether, this is required to buy the Axie off the market. So I'm going to cover that as well quickly. Alright, so the first process is, I'm going to select, I want to swap not AXS, I want to swap my SLP. So on top I'm going to select SLP. Alright, so now you do not need to type the SLP here as you do not know what the token amount is going to be based on the market price. So the best thing to do is to just select your token. Now I require 1 AXS, so I will select and I will just type the number 1 here. So by doing that, the system is automatically going to calculate for me how much of SLP it's going to take from my wallet, and that's the SLP that is going to be used for the breeding fee. Okay, so then once you get the amount, this tends to kind of refresh if you don't do this quickly based on the market price. So we're going to click on swap. So once you click on swap, if in case your wallet has already been corrected, it will show you this directly. It will show you this screen confirming the rate that you're going to be paying, and the amount of SLP that you are going to be using. So I'm going to be using 2005 SLP out of my total SLP of 3000 plus. So I am going to just click on confirm swap. So after I click on confirm swap, as you know, everything is being done on the blockchain, on the Ronin blockchain. We need to confirm this in our Ronin wallet. All right. So all you need to do is to wait till you get the pop-up from Ronin wallet asking you to confirm this transaction, because that's how you're going to be confirming all transactions in future as well. But the difference right now is I have free transactions from Ronin given to me. There are 100 transactions every day free, and it refreshes at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is only until the time RON is free. Once RON is being charged, you're going to have a charge here, and you're going to see the rate in your currency. So you click on confirm. So once you click on confirm, you should just wait for a few minutes, because this transaction is happening on the blockchain. So don't be in a hurry, especially now with the current scenario of Katana. Everyone's doing this, and there's a whole lot of traffic and there's a whole lot of lag, but you just got to bear with it and understand that these things need to happen slowly. All right, so just be patient. Once it's done, if in case it fails, you got to try this again, and hopefully you'll be successful in getting this into your wallet. See, as I mentioned, this may take a few minutes, so you can go ahead and close this. If you have converted it successfully, as you can see, my wallet now shows 1 AXS. All right, it shows 1 AXS. So you can see this in my wallet. I will just show it to you. So now you can see I have a balance of 1363 SLP. Okay, it shows contract pending, but that may be not updated as yet. So I will just go into the assets. So as I said, this takes time, but you need to wait for your wallet to refresh. Let's just click on refresh on the page. Hopefully we should see that in our wallet. I can already see it here as 1 AXS, but I'm just going to refresh the page just to show this to you. So you get this connect to your wallet only if you have not connected your wallet. So give it a second to refresh. So coming back to how we are going to go about selecting an AXIE to breed. As I said, it's very important to know what class of AXIE you want to breed, what type of AXIE you want to breed, and also important is the genes, keeping in mind the genes, and also you need to keep in mind the breed count. So you can see 1 AXS is currently 6491, and I have some balance of SLP as well. Out of this, I'm going to be using 600 SLP to do this one breed. All right, so let's go about looking at the tools that we are going to be using. On a normal tool that one of the main tools that many of the breeders use is the AXIE breeding calculator. So these tools are made by one of our community members called Freak Extensions. I'm not sure about the name of this person, but they made some amazing tools which enable you to connect to your wallet directly and pull up the AXIE stats based on your Ronin address. So this is the genes calculator. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of technical data that you can currently ignore from right now, because I'm just going to show you a very easy way to do things. As I said, this is just a basic procedure to show you how the possibility of you using your SLP to breed, and showing you how easy it is to go about earning more money. All right, so coming back to the Freaks this extension, all you need to do is to just put in the AXIE number. The AXIE number, this can be either from the marketplace. You can select an AXIE if in case you're not already purchased an AXIE. If you want to know the probability of what your chances of breeding those two AXIEs together, you can either use one of the AXIEs that are currently in your wallet, in your inventory, or you can choose AXIEs from the market and just click on calculate. Once you click on calculate, it will tell you the probabilities of each part of your AXIEs. So some of the main parts right now that are required to ensure that you know, many of the top players look at is the mouth, the horn, the back and the tail part. Obviously you look at the eyes and the ears only if you are looking at pure breeds, and if you're looking to ensure that you meet certain stats of that particular pure breed class of axis. Like if you're going for pure plants, if in case there is an aqua part in the eye or ears, these icons basically indicate what type of class of axis it is, and that's going to basically reduce the speed, reduce the health, reduce the morale. It affects everything altogether. As I said, there are a whole lot of resources out there where you can go into these in-depth details of what class and what type of stats you require to be seen on each class of axis. But right now we're just going to look at just the basics, and so that you have a decent understanding if in case you want to go into this seriously as to how to go about things. So the first thing I'm going to use is, I'm not going to use this tool because I want to know generally for my entire wallet. As you can see, my Ronin wallet is already connected here. You can just type your Ronin address into this box and click on search. So now I'm going to choose part breeding. So I know what I'm looking for, what I think is going to work for me and has a resale value in the market. Something like a cute bunny, a fear card, as well as a poison yam. In spite of it being nerfed, it still has a lot of potential if you know how to use it. As I said, the end of the day, I always tell people this. It's about the player, and about the player knowing his axis parts and knowing how to use his axis, and that's what differentiates the top players from those who complain that they're not able to play even with really good axis. Alright, so for the first part I'm going to look for is cute bunny. As you see, you just type the part and it will come up, and this is connected to what I have in my inventory. So instead of going one by one and looking at each stats from each of these, the genes of each of these axes, I'm going to let the system decide and show me what are the probabilities based on what it searches through the database. And as I said, there's a whole lot of back-end numbers that will go over your head if you go into looking at it, if you're not looking at this seriously. So the next part I'd like to have is yam, and I've mentioned this in my previous video as well. Yam is one of the most it's one of the most used abilities in, especially in plants, where the top guys are using this based on the fact that this particular card can poison you, as well as when you defend yourself, you're going to get poisoned again. And the best part is, even if this particular axis with this ability dies off in the game, you still remain poisoned till the end of the game, and that can be a game changer, as many of the top guys know about this. So these are the two basic abilities that I'm going to look for when I'm breeding the current breed which I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and now search and click on find pairs, and as you can see, it's going to tell me what are my probabilities, what are the best two pairs that I can use to breed. So going by the system, I have a 65.625% chance of getting these two cards, these two abilities on these axes, and I can get it with these two particular axes. Alright, so I have a little branch, cute bunny, pumpkin, yam, and I have a lagging scarab, yam, cute bunny. And if you know about the current meta changes in this current season, you'll know that there's scarab has been buffed up, and little branch, if it's used with a plant card, it's going to give you a 20% more probability of getting a crit. And these are kind of game changers when you are playing in high competitive games. And obviously cute bunny, the reason why I want cute bunny is very simple. The most important thing of me putting this on a tank is for one particular reason. 99.9% of all the games which I play, I notice that the opponents always play their serious, that is their energy stealer cards in the start of the game. If you most of the plants are 31 speed, so if you can ensure that you get a speed higher than that, even 32 speed with the cute bunny, And if you have an activator for the cute bunny, you need to have either have it in the same, you got to have it as a chain. So when you play either another cute bunny or some other bug card, it's going to activate the cute bunny. And if you are able to have your activator, you know, faster than your cute bunny on the tank, that's going to activate this cute bunny, and you are going to go faster than the opponent's tank. So you are going to place that cute bunny ability onto that debuff onto that opponent, and he's going to miss 2 of his cards, that is 2 turns immediately after that. So if you go just, if you can ensure that your axis is just fast enough, not fast enough than all their axes, but fast enough than their tank, and you hit him with the cute bunny, he's going to miss his 2 of his turns. And I've seen it during the match, and it's really fun to watch them miss their main cards, that's those energy stealing cards which they solely depend on to rob your energy. Okay, so now that I know that these 2 axes of mine are going to give me a higher probability of getting the cute bunny and getting the yam, I'm going to go ahead and select this for my inventory. And now that I already have my AXS ready, I'm going to go ahead and do this breed. So all I need to do is to go to, I will pick the little branch one first, just to make this easy to understand. So I'll go to the little branch, click on okay, so I've clicked on the little branch pumpkin yam cute bunny axis. The next thing I'm going to do is to click on breed. So once you click on breed, it's going to tell you, it's going to ask you to select your second axis. So as you can see, I already have the breeding fee is 1 AXS, and I still have 1363 SLP left. So I'm going to select the second AXS, the second axis. I'll just select a different axis right now to show you how the breeding fee is going to increase if you select something which is more than 1 breed. So the moment I select something which has, just give it a second to refresh. So I select something which has 3 breeds. All right. Give it a second to refresh. So this is going to drastically increase my breeding fee in terms of the SLP that I need to pay. The AXS will still be 1 AXS, that is the standard fee right now that Axie Infinity charges for the breed, but we also need to have SLP as the breeding fee. Okay, so that's refreshed right now. As you can see, it shows, since I selected a 0 breed, it shows I am going to use 300 SLP out of my 1363 SLP. The next is when I select an axis which, let's just say 3 breed. So I have a 3 breed axis here which I'm going to select, just for the sake of showing you the difference of fees. And as you can see, I'm already out of money. It says I need 1500 SLP. So this is the reason why many of the breeders go for 0 breeds, to keep their cost down. So if you're just a simple person like me who's trying to just make a little more money on Axie Infinity, that's going to cost you a whole lot of SLP. So you need to have a whole lot of SLP. Apart from the SLP, you need to have another 6,500 to 7,000 in my currency. It's currently pesos, but that's a whole lot of money that you require for the current cost of 1 AXS. So I'm just going to change this to the 0 breed, which is as per the system. They've asked me to select the scarab and the lagging. So based on that, I'm going to select the scarab and the lagging. Okay, so as you can see, it's just going to cost me 600 SLP right now. So the reason why I'm selecting Scarab, as I said, in the current meta, Scarab has been buffed up. When if in case you hit your opponent with Scarab, it's going to block healing, especially those double anemons that you see on the arena right now. They're going to be in a whole lot of trouble if you hit them with Scarab, because you're going to block their healing for 2 rounds. and that's going to totally mess up their game plan, because you can just kill them with your higher damage axes while they are not able to heal. All right, so that's been done. Now let's just go ahead and breed. So all you need to do is just click on breed. So once again you are going to get a pop-up telling you to confirm this Ronin transaction. As you can see, everything that you do on Axie Infinity Marketplace requires a Ronin transaction to be processed, and that's going to cost you RON in the future. So as you can see, it's currently going to deduct 600 the 600 SLP and the 1 AXS. Okay, so it's clearly going to show you how much money you're going to pay for this breed. So you have 6,413 plus 1,926. That's the value of your SLP. So once you see all of this, you just go ahead and confirm the transaction. So as the transaction is being confirmed, you should now see it being processed in terms of the system telling you that your breed has been successful. We're just going to give it a second for this to process. So I'm doing this live, so it's going to just take a little bit of time for the system to process it. As I said, there's a whole lot of axes being generated right now because of Katana decks, and that's why we have these lags that you will be able to see. So if in case this fails, I'm going to try to do this one more time, or at least until the time I'm able to Okay, so unfortunately we did not get to see the pop-up window, but the transaction just got confirmed, as you can see. So once you see the transaction has been confirmed, you can see here that it currently says one breed. So we've been successful in breeding this. So if you go back to your inventory, you should be seeing an egg in place, and that's going to be your brand new Axie that you just bred. So as you can see, I have 11 axes, and you wonder why this is blank. The reason this is blank currently is because I bred a dusk axie. It's a dusk class axie with a plant axie. So hopefully, to my good fortune, I am going to get one of these dusk axes which are high in health and high speed. At the same time, I am going to, what I'm looking for is the cute bunny yam. Okay, and hopefully I will get one of these particular abilities, like the pumpkin, from one of the parent genes. So either a scarab or a pumpkin with the little branch, and that's going to certainly give me a jackpot of a axie which I can resell onto the marketplace. So now that you have received this egg, okay, as you can see, dusk axes normally do not have a picture of the basically the axie inside. So when I mean axie inside, the class of axie, so each class of pure breed axes have a certain shape. Like the plants have a green oval shape, beast has a square, yellow and white square shape. All right, so likewise reptile will have a purple shape of an egg inside. So these are something that you will see on the marketplace, and that's how you're going to be able to recognize the pure breed axes from the non-pure breed axes. So currently this is blank because a dusk is a mix of basically two different classes of axes, and hopefully we're going to get something really good. And I'm going to continue this video once this egg reaches an adult stage, and as you can see, the date mentioned here is the 25th of November. That's 5 days from today. So 5 days from today at this particular time, I am going to be able to morph this. As you can see, this is grayed out currently, so I'm going to be able to morph this into an adult, and by doing that I am going to have a full-fledged axie, as you see in the marketplace, and as you can see in my inventory, any normal axie. So that whole process of breeding takes about 5 days to morph this into an adult. So hopefully we can be able to see this process after 5 days. I'm going to continue this video after 5 days and add this into the video. So once I'm off it, I'm going to add that part into this video as a continuation of this video as well. So that's how you go about breeding your first AXIE, by using your SLP. So right now I'm going to, as I mentioned to you, this is one of the ways to earn money on Axie Infinity, but I am also going to show you, I'm also going to teach you how to go about basically buying your own Axie as well. As I told you, I have already done that, but I have a few print screens which I'm going to show you, and the process is exactly the same of converting your SLP to wheat, which is going to be required. Here we converted the SLP to AXS, but right now I'm going to show you how to convert your SLP to wheat. So that I've already done that, but I'm just going to show you the screenshots of how we are going to go about doing that. So as you can see right here, both the AXIES have a breed count of 1. So the next time we go to breed something like this, it's going to increase in its cost, and right now the cost was 300 for a 0 breed, but if you go to breed this a second time, it's 450 SLP per AXIE. So you're looking at 900 SLP at one time that you need to keep aside, apart from having one AXS. So depending on the rate of AXS, you need to calculate that accordingly. So coming back to how you're going to go about buying your own AXIE by converting the SLP. So I'm just going to show you the screenshots. So the first process is absolutely the same. You take your SLP, you go to swap, that is the KATANA DEX, the same place where we swap the AXS. So instead of we're going to select SLP, obviously that's what we have generated and farm. Right now I have farmed SLP, but you can also farm RON as well. As you know, the KATANA offers you that option, but right now I'm just going to show you with the SLP. The next step you need to do is to select wheat, that is the wrapped ether. That's what's required to purchase your AXIE. If you go to any AXIE which you're interested in buying, you can see it has it shows you 0.076, and that's called wheat. It's wrapped Ethereum. I've covered that in my previous video. So the next step is to select the token that you need. So we need wheat, so we're going to select wheat, same like how we selected the AXS. The third step is to type how much wheat you require. As I said, you don't need to mention how much SLP you need to calculate, nothing like that. The system will do the calculation for you. So type the amount of wheat that you require. So in this box here, you need to type, in this particular box, you'll need to type your wheat. So this was what I was looking at previously, but I kind of looked at the different AXIE which I needed to convert to, I needed to purchase. So once I found the AXIE that I was interested in buying, I seen it costs 0.076. So all I need to do is to type 0.076 into this box. Okay, so on doing that, you click on swap, the same way how we did the AXS. So when you click on swap, the system will again ask you for a confirmation. Same process, as I said, same process as swapping AXS. So you click on confirm swap. Then in the next step, you will need to confirm that transaction on the Ronin blockchain. As I mentioned, right now it's free, but you will be paying for these transactions with RON tokens in future, once RON has a value. Alright, once you do that, you get a confirmation that your transaction is being processed on the blockchain. As you can see here, it's been grayed out at the back. You can see this, it's showing you what's being converted on the blockchains. Alright, and then finally, once that money is in your wallet, you proceed to the marketplace, select the AXIE that you want. I wanted to buy this cute bunny bone snail yam to basically test out in one of my teams compositions, and all you need to do is to click on buy. When you see that there's money has arrived in your wallet, if you see money has arrived in your wallet, click on buy, So you confirm the price. Once you click on buy, the pop-up will come and it will show you from who you're buying it from, the seller's name, from what account, where the transaction is going to happen. Confirm that the amount is right. Always click refresh before you click on buy. Alright, click on confirm. Click on confirm. Once you've done that, you just got to sit back and relax, and in the few minutes, depending on the network traffic, you should see your AXIE that you just purchased in your inventory, like I've shown you here. So it should show up here, just like how this egg showed up. You'll have this AXIE showing up in your inventory. So unfortunately, I've already resold this AXIE on the time of doing this video, but I still had the screenshots of what I had done to purchase this AXIE, and I thought I should include it along with this video, since we are on the process of converting SLP to do a breed. Alright, so that's about it for this video. I hope you found that video easy to understand, because I try to keep it as simple as possible. I'm sorry it has to go so long, but there are certain procedures that you need to learn, and you cannot do things randomly if you want to make serious money. So there's a whole lot of things that you still need to learn in terms of breeding. Don't just jump into it because of what I've covered in this video, but there's certainly a whole lot of things that you need to learn first. There are a whole lot of resources. I'm going to be putting all those resources down for you in the description, but I hope you find this video helpful, because right now it's seriously really easy to just convert what money you have into basically increasing your earnings by generating more AXIES or reselling AXIES or breeding, or whatever it is. There's a whole lot of opportunities available. It's just up to you. It's just in your hands as to how you're going to use your money, how you are going to save, how you're going to sacrifice, and how you are going to increase your earnings. So I'm just showing you a couple of ways which has helped me, and I hope that helps you as well. So if this video has helped you in any way, do subscribe to our channel and share this video with your family and friends, so that they can earn as well as much as you. So thanks a lot for joining us on this video, and we look forward to seeing you in our future videos as well. Thank you.